On my certain and okay, not yeah, all this all this
And all this guy.
oh yeah,
What
oh yeah, but my phone is
you
not
want?
no
Ụlọchi mụ na Igbo mgbe ụfọdụ mbata ebe a a na-agbachụcha nnọgide na-aja ihe mezi ụbọchị onye mara mma wetara anyị ihe dị mma wetara anyị nke ọjọọ ekene ndị onye ọma na-ege anyị ntị n'ụlọ ọrụ mgbasa ozi abụọ na ndị 103.5 FM. Ụbọchị taa bụ Tọzdee mkpụrụ ụbọchị 13 n'ime ọnwa Ọktoba 2021. Otu nkeji ka o jikọta elekere asaa n'oge newspaper headlines. Ka anyị gaa zie ozi laghachite azụ wee gaa n'ihu gụpụtara gị ya dị n'akwụkwọ akụkọ dị iche iche n'ụbọchị taa. Emetụkwana anya gị ibe n'okwu okwu aka anyị na-alaghachite ndịrị.
Do you have the right to free broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of the broadcast or the conduct of the broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 3, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asoko, Abuja, or send a mail here info at nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that the complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that the complaint must wait to NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Dall'amica Signora Bonica Patarica, non ho mosso zero, devono trita, traibo, fino nella media newspaper headlines, na tutto fatto. Hai già fatto Guardian, Punch, Premium Times, Nation, hai già fatto This Day, Sun, and Tribune. I'm in your live at Ebona, the 103.5 FM Facebook page, zitere anyị akwụkwọ na SMS maọbụ na WhatsApp bụ 08096661035. Jee na online na ị ga-enweta anyị ma ọ bụrụ na stream na mixlr.com/gistfm. Abụ
And I'm Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria to loan 7 Benin Bronzes to US Museum for 5 years. 110 girls abandoned in Boko Haram's den, Chibok Community. Ekiti Group faults Fayemi over creation of Ifon Alaye Ekiti Community. National honors, Ugwuanyi, Okowa, Umahi, Okonjo-Iweala have made us proud, say Ohaneze. Service chiefs not deserving of national awards, civil society organizations tells Buhari. Senate threatens zero allocation for Federal Capital Territory in 2023 budget over late submission of proposal. Senate threatens zero allocation for Federal Capital Territory in 2023 budget over late submission of proposals. Petroleum Resources Ministry gets new permanent secretary. Delta PDP Guba. Supreme Court fixes October 21st for judgment. Buhari swears in Chief Justice Ariwoola presides over Federal Executive Council. Buhari swears in Justice. Okay, we've taken this. Alleged 5 billion naira fraud. Attorney General of the Federation gives EFCC go ahead to prosecute Stella Odua. Others. Contaminated cough syrups. We have measures to prevent entry into Nigeria. NAFDAC. Federal government begins emergency ambulance services Friday. INEC worries over insecurity as crisis stalls APC, PDP, Labour Party campaigns. National grid collapse. No plan to privatize transmission company, says federal government. World Sight Day. Why over 4.25 million adult Nigerians are blind by ophthalmologist. Federal government's directive on border closure still in force, says customs. ASU plays Ngige for advising federal government to proscribe union. Federal government false UNESCO's report says only 2.8 million out of school. Stop pressurizing judiciary. Newly sworn Chief Justice of Nigeria, Ariwoola, tells politicians. IPOB condemns alleged release of 101 Boko Haram terrorists from prison. Federal government stakeholders crave oil, gas investments amid dwindling output revenue. Coalition of United Political Parties alleges plot to undermine 2023 elections, vows opposition. Insecurity. It's hypocrisy to criticize Jonathan, keep silent on Buhari's government, says Yakasa. Airtel. UNICEF to connect 100,000 children to digital education in Nigeria. Submit 2023 budget proposal next week or get zero allocation. Senate wants Federal Capital Territory admin. Take agribusiness serious. International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. The National Agricultural Seed Council. Ajayi Crowther University. Tax students, Nigerians. 2023 Appropriation Bill scales second reading in Senate. Nigerian Center for Disease Control confirms 408 monkeypox cases, 7 deaths. Federal government approves emergency preparedness response plan to reduce flood impact nationwide. Germany to return 1,130 looted Benin Bronzes to Nigeria, Lai Mohammed. National Assembly will pass 2023 appropriation bill in December. Honors. Buhari decorates Lawan, Okonjo-Iweala, UN scribe, others. And lastly, stop blame games campaign. Campaign with Buhari's records. PDP tells ruling party.
A Daily Trust. Benue gets tuberculosis wheels clinic. Benue gets tuberculosis wheels clinic. Reps urge army police to tackle killing, kidnapping in Mangu Bokos. Others. Release of trained captives. Release of trained captives. Chibok Community cries out over 100 girls with Boko Haram. Public Service Bureau hosts roundtable on national ethics, integrity policy. Senate probes Senate probes 252 agency over 5 trillion naira contingency fund spending. Reinstated officers. Army disagree over voluntary retirement plan. Alleged 7.9 billion naira fraud. Ex-aviation minister Odua to be rearranged. NAFDAC destroys 1.7 trillion naira tramadol in 5 years. 2023 budget. Senators fault rising recurrent expenditure. 2023 budget. Senators fault rising recurrent expenditure. 4 months to election. Plots to remove INEC chair, stop beavers, raise dust. Customs seizes 57 cars, arrest 7 smugglers. Kwankwaso Commission's Lagos office says, I am optimistic. North Flight, Ariwa Consultative Forum, Northern Elders Forum, 4 orders to engage Atiku, Tinubu, Kwankwaso, Obi, others. 95 million voters to decide Buhari's successor. INEC, IMF urges federal government to increase tax revenues, says fiscal policy needs to help monetary efforts. Federal government issues subscription for 225 billion naira bonds. Oil bunkering. Reps probe destruction of arrested oil vessel by security ops. Oil and gas top Oil and gas tops bank credit allocation in 2021. National Bureau of Statistics. NACA tops 614 public entities in financial reporting this year. FRC. Federal government votes 3.4 billion naira for Mambila, other power projects. The data is clear. Long COVID is devastating people's lives and livelihoods. Police arrest woman serving as informant to bandit brothers in Zamfara. Gunmen abduct police officer in Kwara. Time to sanitize water transport. Mental Health Awareness Day 2022. 32 states out of nationwide tourism gains. Political, political campaigns and the dangers of disinformation. 2023 elections and uncontrolled cyberbullying. Police train personnel on modern investigation prosecution methods. Local manufacturers are adhering to standards. Standard Organization of Nigeria (DG). High expectations as OCP commissions multi-billion naira NPK plants. Drug dealers nabbed in Benue. Issues as farmers celebrate World Earth Day tomorrow. International Day of the Girl. Clarion call on government to invest in girl child. Community rehabilitates, equips Osun Schools Science Lab. NFF to cut costs as debts accumulate. How Edo woman committed suicide after losing 300 million naira to fraudsters. Lagos. Cultists slaughter 15-year-old boy in dad's room. 60-year-old woman, 1 order, jailed 4 years for stealing. Kidnappers kill man after collecting ransom in Kano. Flood. 6 family members drowned in Anambra. Man remanded for sodomizing boy in Kano. 3 jailed for stealing Nigerian flag from Zuma tourism site. Toby Amusan nominated for Women's World Athlete Award. Nig- Kali kama vile tena na wote ile njara na kupata kwa na shibu kama jitu na wada kupata rabi na for the trust. Three jailed for stealing Nigerian flag from Suma tourism sites. Toby Amusan nominated for Women's World Athlete Award. Girl asks Bauchi government to include reproductive education in school curriculum. Beyond, Pan fired up for Abuja International Marathon. Again, customs intercepts gun ammunition in Lagos. Patients, relatives battle mosquito hit as Abuja Electricity Distribution Company disconnects Niger hospitals over deaths. 2023. Group organizes football competition for political parties. Federal government denies plan to privatize TCN. Nigeria's oil production continues slump amid onshore shutdown. Raducanu searches for fifth coach in 15 months. Wilder seeks to fight Joshua in Africa. PDP has not suspended presidential campaign Dele Momodu. Foundation empowers Sokoto pupils. Improved access to ICT will empower girl child. Abia First Lady. Petrol scarcity. 146 trucks have arrived Abuja. Lokoja flood receding. NNPC. War. 13 million refugees, IDPs recorded in Ukraine. Saraki. Para governor has underperformed. His only agenda is to fight me. Nigerians should monitor what INEC is doing. Jiga. APC appointing members into INEC, Saraki's former aide. Atiku has the solution to your pain. Kola Olobundia tells Nigerians. Flooding, over 100 Bayelsa communities submerged, says governor. Anyone wishing greatness for Nigeria will vote Tinubu, APC chieftain. Plan International wants girls, women participation in decision-making process. UNN final year student wins reality show. Assistant Superintendent of Police abducted in Kwara. Obajana stand up. Kogi sending a bad signal to investors. NESG. Gridlock as Kwankwaso unveils MNPP secretariat in Lagos. Man locked up for 20 years in Kaduna. 2023. 95 million voters to decide Buhari's successor, INEC. Nigeria to loan 7 Benin Bronzes to US Museum. Boy fakes own kidnap in Ogun, demands 100 million naira from parents. Shell to resume crude oil exports as Forcados terminal. Shell to resume crude oil exports at Forcados terminal. Reps to CBN suspend sale of Polaris Bank. 5 arrested for murder of a widower. We won't tolerate another inconclusive election in Kano. Abba Gida. IDG. Pupil seeks inclusion of reproductive education in school curriculum. I am aware PDP has caused Nigerians some pains. Banky W. Though Ganduje sacked me, I can't backstab him. Yakasai. No plan to privatize TCN, says federal government. Recruitment. 3,100 shortlisted teachers in Kogi begin oral interviews. Recruitment. 3,100 shortlisted teachers in Kogi begin oral interviews. Amusa makes list of nominees for Women Athlete of the Year Award. 2023. Labour Party unveils 1,234 member campaign council. Flood. Mom. 4 kids. Sister drowned in Anambra. Zamfara government reopens 45 schools as security improves. Tinubu APC stakeholders meet to finalize campaign issues. Makinde Akeredolu present as Buhari swears Ariwola in as substantive CJN. Fact check. Are all Tinubu's allies still loyal to him, as Reno Omokri claimed? Winner emerged at Akin Fadeyi Foundation anti-corruption contest. Controversy as Tweep accused Teni of disrespecting Buhari. Fact check, where hashtag EndSARS protesters not killed at Lekki toll gate, as MC Oluomo claimed. Glazers not willing to sell Manchester United. PSG not disturbed by Mbappe's exit rumour. Gautier, how we acquired land for Opajana cement plant, Dangote Group. Champions League round-up, Real Madrid, Man City peak last 16 spots. Flood 500 dead, 1.4 million affected in 31 states, Abuja federal government. National honors not for decoration, Buhari tells recipients. Hijab, MSSN seek stringent sanctions for violators of Supreme Court judgment. Lagos get federal government's nod to build airport in Lekki. Otu afọdụ n'ọtụtụ anụmanụ na Daily Trust.
And now we move over to the Punch newspaper. Kwankwaso unveils Lagos NMPP Secretariat, preaches peace. Federal government probes Niger Delta amnesty workers, suspects scholarship fraud. Be part of politics, Fayemi tells activist. Soldier accused of selling ammunition to terrorists arrested. Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso unfold agenda, Tinubu absent. Training will guarantee development for youths, Lagos government. Adopt tech innovations, Lagos government advises horticulturists. Secondus congratulates PDP governors, Ilumelu on national honors. Gunmen kill vigilante officer, 2 orderlies in Anambra. Measles outbreak killed 234 in 39 weeks. Nigeria Center for Disease Control. Aliwola inaugurated as Chief Justice of Nigeria, 6 judiciary's independence. Aliwola inaugurated as Chief Justice of Nigeria, 6 judiciary's independence. Bayelsa governor promises support for flood victims. IPOB faults terrorist release, demands freedom for Kanu. Labour Party unveils 1,234 member campaign council, knocks opposition candidates. APC approves Tinubu's manifesto, justifies campaign delay. Insecurity, police train officers on digital skill. Oyo traditional rulers support new federal polytechnics kickoff. ASU, federal government to release 50 billion naira as end allowance. Tinubu's wife begs women to campaign in markets. Tinubu dazed by Atiku's popularity, PDP. Tinubu dazed by Atiku's popularity, PDP. Flooding too early to assess damage, federal government. Flooding too early to assess damage, federal government. Technology scares politicians, Jega on alleged BVAS deactivation. Civil society organizations protest illegal slaughter of donkeys by Chinese. Anambra imposes 100,000 naira levy on burial banners, posters. Anambra imposes 100,000 naira levy on burial banners, posters. 70% of our patients are drug abusers. Police Trust Fund gets 4.5 billion naira for vehicle supply. 2023, PDP postpones presidential campaign to placate Wike. Gunmen abduct policeman in Kwara. PDP must incorporate university transparency and accountability solution into IPPIS. Olabisi Onabanjo University Vice Chancellor. Imo Monarch mourns ex-deputy governor Ebere Udago. Tinubu's manifesto, 90% ready. Keyamo. And still on the stories making the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. Opportunities abound in Nigeria. Guarantee Trust Holding Company, GMD, advises youths. Court dismisses 3 cases against Abiodun. Court dismisses 3 cases against Abiodun. Suspected headers kill 5 in Benue. 2023 budget illegal, says Shoro. Include family planning in 2023 budget, Cross River stakeholders. 2023, there won't be ballot stuffing, snatching, INEC. Punch journalist just listed for regional media awards. Incompetence in financial records distorts development. Obi. Atiku not learner, fit for presidency. Olobodinya. University of Lagos tops Nigerian varsities, ranks 401 to 500 in the world. Wike up 1 billion naira to support rivers flood victims. Pipeline surveillance. Isoko youths give federal government 7-day ultimatum. Group tackles Wike over 14,319 appointees. Filmmaker Shehu Ebebe convicted, released. Nigeria ranks 6th in tuberculosis in the world. 110 girls neglected in terrorist den, Chibok Community. Ecological fund shouldn't be released to governors, ex-advisor. Parties raise fears over plan to dump BVAS. Federal government begins process to review Land Use Act. Tinubu, APC National Working Committee orders in critical meeting. National honor will serve as motivation. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps boss. Coalition of United Political Parties alleges plot to remove INEC chairman. Elumelu's party with Jonathan Okonjo-Iweala after national awards. Zamfara reopens 45 schools as insecurity subsides. Top priority, Western allies. Toby Amusan, nominated for Women's World Athlete Award. Anikulapo ranks number 1. Buhari swears in. Okay, we've taken this. I will end Lagos traders' extortions. Jandor. Water bill contravenes true federalism, says Catholic groups. ASU, federal government to modify integrated personnel and payroll information system, accommodates university transparency and accountability solution. And lastly, monkeypox cases rises to 481. Nigeria Center for Disease Control.
The Vanguard newspaper, refs divided over increased borrowings as 2023 budget scales second reading. Federal government has no plan to sell TCM. Power Minister insists. Atiku Okowa will end Nigerians' anguish, pains. PCC. IMF lists priority measure for debt reduction in Nigeria. Lack of investors' confidence in economy, worrisome. NESG. Obadare makes Forbes business council. Voting rights to keep para on path of steady growth. 2023. PDP self-destruct. PDP self-destruct as Wike Ayu work for Atiku's defeat. NDLE seizes 179.102 kilograms of illicit drugs in Ebonyi. KBCP presents 46 million checks to 21 families of slain police officers. NAFDAC raises alarm over impersonation of Director General. National honors. Mele Kiare's award will encourage outstanding leaders to work harder. Group. U.S. consulates host 100 schoolgirls have on access to education. International Day of Girl Child. Prioritize issues relating to girl children. NGO tells government. Women need to overcome tension to achieve greatness. Experts. U.S. mission welcomes 2022 Mandela Washington Fellows. FATSA. deploy entertainment to address drug abuse. Oloyede at 68, an icon of courage. Arungudade, the king of boys at 60. 2023 CUPP CSO's ethnic youth leader alleged plot to stop electronic transmission of results. Ondo, Edo, Bauchi account for 71% cases of Lassa fever in Nigeria, says NCDC. 2023 Kwankwaso launches NNPP secretariat in Lagos amidst loud ovation. 2023 Why I Deserve to Be Re-elected, Sanwo-Olu. BPSR tasks public servants with adherence to code of conduct. Sizzler to NAS. Don't be in a hurry to pass 2023 appropriation bill. Can you just relax to play the
Just sit down, they look all them yama gems. Can you and your family they look like They call disease and infection them up and down. Oh now, we supposed to protect yourself and with surroundings against them yama gems. Now you be why habits where they make anti-genocide. Who produce individual time fresh antiseptic where they classify all them yama gems. One time, go drag them come up for your skin and house, office, school, hospital, hotel, church, restaurant them, and all the public places. How can they can make sense, time sense? Put out the house, make my people for breathe together. What time fresh antiseptic, you're very gentle for your skin, but when you consume fire for all them then, they're very effective, and you know they fear pocket in your cause. You go to get and buy for pharmacy, supermarket, and all other shopping. If you want to know body carry and enter market, this is green 0703 924 6169. You need to find fresh antiseptic for better protection against germs. The Poultry Association of Nigeria, Anambra State chapter, PAN-A, invites the public to the 2022 World Egg Day celebration. Day, Friday, 14th October 2022. Venue, Professor Kenneth Dike Library, the site ADS station, Oka, time 10 a.m. Activities of the day include free air, empowerment, seminar, rally, and lots more. For more information, kindly call Mr. Simon or 0803 77 009.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, station aggrieved by the content of the broadcast or the conduct of the broadcast station may launch a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission. A complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission. Number 2, Ibrahim Tayo Street, Asekoro, Abuja, or send a mail. Ibrahim Tayo Street, Asekoro, Abuja, or send a mail. Via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that the complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and a complaint. Also wait to NBC for the important days of the very broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Ika na-esonyere anyị n'ụlọọrụ mgbasa ozi bụ na Benin FM n'oge newspaper headlines. Anyị ka nọkwa live n'ebe ọ na Benin FM maọbụ na eStream Live online. namixlr.com/gistfm. Because the Wakala using a WhatsApp and SMS na 080 966 1035. I can also put on our powerful one newspaper. NAFDAC DG Adeleye dumps Facebook, LinkedIn, others. Benue APC crisis. Party stalwarts decline governorship campaign cancel appointment. Nigeria Exchange Group appoints Faranga as new chairman. PDP crisis. Jemba youths decry attack on autumn over call for IU's resignation. Space NXT focus more on cooperative competition, stakeholders tell Nigerian innovators. Airtel Touching Lives Season 7 to drive digital financial inclusion. Bandits Boko Haram. CSOs plays national honors conferred on security chiefs. Nigeria not doing well in Digital Quality of Life Index. 2023 polls. Kwankwaso opens NNPP Lagos office.
And now we continue with the Nation newspaper. Labour Party kicks as Obi unveils 1,234 member presidential campaign council. Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, Oke's ex-minister Odua's trial over alleged 7.9 billion naira fraud. Students, work visa restrictions on Nigerians, likely UK wants. Budget 23, Senate begins debate on 20.5 trillion naira appropriation bill. Federal Executive Council okays 225.24 billion naira contract for works, aviation, police affair. PDP crisis. Atiku drafts Mark Ibori Odele to beg Wike. 2023. North group to quiz Tinubu, Atiku, Obi, others on visions. Tinubu presents manifesto to APC National Working Committee governors. 95 million Nigerians to elect president next year, says INEC. 10,000 police officers undergoing training on digital skills, says Inspector General. Kogi government, Dangote firm face-off, will hot investment drive. Nigeria Economic Summit Group. Flooding, extent of damage to roads, public infrastructure uncertain, says federal government. Obajana, Kogi challenges Dangote to prove ownership claim. Chief Justice of Nigeria to politicians, don't put pressure on judiciary. And lastly, PDP suspends campaign over Atiku, Wike rift.
Now this day, federal government extent of damage to roads, other public infrastructure. You are dazed by Atiku's popularity. PDP replies to me. House urges police and forces to investigate. Federal government. Insurgency destroyed 497 classrooms. Atiku Okowa will end anguish, pain, deprivation. Delta PDP candidate Sheriff Odebi no fate. Strike. ASU's lawyer reassures Nigerians on resumption. Do more to rescue Nigeria's democracy. Fine. Attacks on Makinde, attention-seeking news by APC. MTN, Intelegram, others partner on smartphone device. Abia PDP chieftain heads to court over power rotation. Nigerians are tired of APC. PDP says Olajuwike backs OON. Adamu absent as Tinubu governors. APC working committee meeting fails. Dakar Foundation distributes to Uyo. Stop mounting pressure on judiciary. CJN Ariwola. Let National Award inspire you for greater services. Abia APC. Attacks on Oyo, Osun, Kwara, Enugu, Kaduna, others. Arnold Rickard. Partners, let's do it Nigeria. Breaking 2023 appropriation Shell to resume crude oil exports at 400,000 barrels per day. Wike appoints 14,000 political advisors. 2023. Politicians campaigning along ethnic religious lines. Stop counting your chickens before they hatch. 2023. Opposition parties alleged plot to stop e-transmission of results. Group last article Obi says insult won't distract APC. Private nursing practitioners pledge to fight pathways. Transport Commissioner decry recurring vote mishap. Osun local government poll. APC not defeated in governorship election. Former PDP Guba candidate promises 20,000 jobs. Ihedioha, Ogun Ewe mourn former Imo deputy governor. Osun restores standard designations in local governments. News in photograph. Buhari swears in justice Awurola. Daunting expectation as Ekiti awaits Oyebanji's inauguration. The growing popularity of P2B. Abuja Electricity Discourse disconnects Niger Government House. NAFDAC alleges hacking of DG's social media account. Clean up. Ogoni urges Buhari to caution high prep. Sanwo-Olu plans health insurance scheme. Execution display video of Akada's lifeless body. 15-year-old boy allegedly murdered in Lagos. DLF Capital redeems 572 million naira commercial paper. Nuremberg body line to post Abuja leaked live.
Now we move over to the Premium Times. Nigerian senator questions parameters in 2023 budget. Police arrest 23-year-old who allegedly faked own kidnap. Why we will not obey court order reinstating officer, Army. Floods. Ex-security advisor urges Buhari to strip governors of ecological funds. Police arrest informants. Truck conveying foodstuff to terrorists in Zamfara. Lagos 2023. PDP Guba candidate Jandor unveils 7-point agenda. Kwankwaso commissions NMPP office in Lagos says party as strong as APC, PDP. How we acquired Obajana cement factory, Dangote Group. Nigeria to loan 7 Benin Bronzes to US Museum. Amusan listed among 10 nominees for Women's Athlete of the Year Award 2023. Why I left music to join politics, Banky W. 2023 budget scales second reading in House. Reps direct CBN to suspend sale of Polaris Bank. Despite low revenue, Oyebanji says funding list of his worries. Buhari swears in Ariwola as Chief Justice of Nigeria. Attorney General of the Federation OK's ex-aviation minister Stella Odua sees CECC's trial. Why I rejected Labour Party's vice presidential ticket, ex-Sokoto deputy governor. National Assembly to pass 2023 budget in December, Lawan. Floods, 500 dead, 90,000 homes damaged across Nigeria, official. Why African countries must regulate drone industry. International Monetary Fund predicts slower growth for Nigerian economy. And lastly, Sanwo-Olu receives federal government's approval to construct Lekki Airport.
Nason newspaper, oil theft, resign now, Obi tells petroleum sector managers. Allow judiciary function, new CJN tells politicians. We've significantly downgraded terrorist operation, Army chief. Wike approves 1 billion naira for flood victims. My administration will prioritize security, infrastructure, power, Oyebanji. Soludo imposes 100,000 naira levy on burial posters, others in Anambra. ASU branches vote to suspend strike. Unity against ears causing division will benefit Nigeria more than sectionalization. sectionalism, additional. Unity against ills causing division will benefit Nigeria more than sectionalism. Additional. Federal government okays MTN takeover of Enugu-Onitsha Expressway construction. Flood kills family of 6 as bridge connecting 7 towns collapses in Anambra. Odinaka becomes Onyendu in Lagos State. Smuggling. Customs intercepts 3,535 liters of EMS, bombs, ammunition, others. Alleged 5 billion naira fraud. EFCC gets nod to prosecute Stella Odua others. Surveillance contract. Isoko youth spit fire. Issue 7-day ultimatum to federal government. APC sets up campaign council harmonization committee. Mixed reaction as CUPP alleges plot to remove INEC chairman, top officials, disable leaders. PDP halts presidential campaign efforts. PDP halts presidential campaign intensifies efforts to pacify weak orders. Why there is insecurity in the country? Chief Chidi Emeagwu, Chairman, CEO Chisco Group of Companies. INEC lists insecurity, thirdly, social media as threat to 2023 elections. Labour Party unveils 1,234 member campaign council, boasts of 15 million votes. I am contesting to reform PDP's history. Banky, PDP tackles clearly over campaign disunited JAG. APC set up campaign council harmonization center. PDP halts presidential campaign intensifies efforts to pacify UK order. Set up campaign council harmonization center. PDP halts presidential campaign intensifies efforts to pacify UK orders. Mixed reaction. Okay. PDP supports group defects to APC in Sokoto. Nigeria's 2023 20.5 trillion naira budget appropriation will intensify austerity, increase poverty, Sislak says at World Bank IMF meeting. Potentials to lead Nigeria. Autumn. Na Tribune 2023 Sanwo-Olu kicks off campaign at Ehimbeti Summit, says some opponents are noisemakers. My administration is addressing major issues of security. PDP suspends campaign over Wike rift. FIDA calls for eradication of girl-child discrimination. Former Governor Yero to lead PDP Presidential Rally Committee. Bowen University researcher Professor Dahunsi selected for Harvard Fellowship. Gbajabiamila's wife calls for empowerment of Nigerian women. International Day of Girl Child. I don't want girls to go through what I went through, Shoyinka. Senate begins investigation on 252 agencies benefited in 5 trillion naira service-wide votes. Education veritable tool to break poverty circle among Nigerian families. FEMA sets modalities in place to counter floods in Abuja. Girls are facing myriad of challenges in education, health. Others, Ali Macaulay. Federal government entrepreneurs interface to bridge unemployment gap in Nigeria. Equities investors lose 18.1 billion naira as market closes bearish. IDG 2022 Nutrition, Education, others identified as challenges facing girl-child development. Otu ụfọdụ n'isi akụkọ ndị anyị kpọpụtara dị n'ọtụtụ ọhụrụ ka anyị jee kepụta ozi ezitere anyị na Facebook page. Eji m akwụkwọ si n'aka Spek Nwafọ Ezofom. INEC saying fears of conducting election in Southeast and the Southwest. Let it not be a way to disenfranchise the citizens of Southeast in 2023. There is insecurity in the whole Nigeria, so Southeast should not be an exception. The federal government and security agencies should take up the challenge and conduct free and fair elections. And spread from a Aussie, um, it's unfortunate that our naira has fallen to 740 naira per dollar, despite the promises of President Muhammad Buhari (APC) of making one naira to $1. May God help us. Francis from Amagunze. INEC worries over insecurity. Honestly, the state of insecurity in this country is nothing to write home and needs to be addressed holistically ahead of 2023. Otherwise, it may adversely affect the polls. May God help us. And also still talking, allow judiciary to function. New CJN tells politicians. This is a good one. However, judiciary can only thrive and function properly if full financial autonomy is granted to her to justify the independence of judiciary. Okay, and Afenifere free to support any candidates of their choice, says Adebanjo. I totally agree with him. We should endeavor to vote individual credibility, antecedents, and potential rather than party or ethnicity to make Nigeria better. Dalvin Francis from Amagunse. Nwachukwu Kennedy Chinedu, voice of Nduse, says the level of killings going on in Southeast is becoming unbearable, worrisome, and disheartening. So I'm urging the authorities to do the needful by fishing those culprits behind us. Also have 95% corruption to fight against the wicked